right, good morning. Happy Monday. If that's, yeah, that's the right day, right? All right, so thank you again for joining me, taking your time out to watch or bring yourself, get yourself up this morning. As promised, we're gonna do a little slow flow this morning with Lotus over here. He's gonna hopefully keep himself entertained. So we're gonna get started laying on our backs, and props again, like always, aren't necessary, but if you have them, perfect. We're gonna bring our soles of our feet together, allow the knees to open, and you can place your hands if you want to on your tummy, or if you prefer to have them just out to your side. And just feel a couple different things you can feel here. Is maybe the sensation of the breath just coming in and out of the nostrils. Or maybe you can just feel the chest and the abdomen just gently moving up and down. Or maybe it's just the awareness of the breath going up and down the entire spine, moving out throughout the entire body. Whatever it happens to be, just maybe if your mind starts to wander, which it does, just take a moment to kind of come back to whatever variation of mindful breathing you're doing. I decided to play some nature sounds today, but of course, you know, he has no clue what's going on right now. But whatever, maybe he'll finally clue in at some point. All right, go ahead and take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to use our hands and bring the legs, maybe kind of, if you want to, rock a little side to side. You point and flex the toes, kind of move a little bit. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and extend my left leg nice and long on my mat. I'm going to keep both of my feet active. And I'm going to start by taking a twist over to the left side with the right knee. And you know, maybe it doesn't make it all the way to the ground. That's okay. We want to just have the shoulders down on the ground. So maybe the gaze is up towards our ceiling, or maybe it's over to the right. And just spending a moment or so here. All right, and I'm also going to take now my left leg that's extended straight. I'm going to start to bend the leg and see if I can grab a hold of it with my right hand. So just kind of twisting the body into a pretzel. So a little twist and a little bit of a quad stretch. All right, go ahead and release the leg and come back to center. We'll squeeze both of the knees in. And then take the right leg long on your mat, again, flexing both of the feet. All right, we'll do the same thing first by just starting to take the leg over to the right. And then we'll go ahead and bend that right leg And see if you can grab a hold of it with your foot. Kind of had to do a little manipulation here, but that's okay. If you can't reach the foot, no big deal. All right, go ahead, release your foot. Bring yourself back to center. Squeeze both of those knees in. And, you know, this can be your option as well. Maybe we just roll to one side, or if you want to, you can use that momentum to bring yourself up to a seat. And we're going to come to we're going to come to like more of a deer pose here. So having my right leg back behind me, I'm going to have my left sole of my foot kind of in my thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, and we'll just allow the hands to rest on both of the knees, palms open. Let's go ahead and connect that forefinger, index finger, and that thumb together, creating a little mudra. Close the eyes for a few moments. And just feel some nice spring energy making its way into the body. Let's go ahead and release the mudra, so maybe wiggle the fingers, and we're going to take a twist over to the right side. So just depending on how flexible you are, maybe your hand kind of wraps around, or maybe your right arm just comes right behind you. So finding a nice twist. Go ahead and come back to center, and then we'll switch the leg positioning. So taking the left leg behind us and kind of bringing in that heel towards the hip as we bring the right sole of the foot into that thigh. And again, finding that little bit of energy opening here. And maybe this side feels a little different than the other. It definitely does for me. I feel very uneven, and it's not necessarily anything wrong with me, but it's the idea that I have imbalances in the body. And everyone kind of might have those imbalances. If you feel a little too wobbly or lopsided here, you can always take a blanket, put it underneath your leg or your hip. All right, let's go ahead and release that mudra again. Shake the hands out, and then we'll twist to the left side. So just taking your left hand behind you or wrapping it around, depending on how much flexibility you have. Go ahead and come back to center. We're just going to sweep our hands over to one side or the other, coming to the top or the middle of your mat. Spreading those fingers nice and wide. Let's go ahead and run through a few cat-cows. Drop the belly down, lift the heart, and then exhale. Start to press away. Good. Taking a nice, again, deep breath in, lifting up the heart, and then exhale. All right, taking a few more. Again, use your breath. Kind of, if you feel like you want to linger a little bit more in one pose or the other. All right, coming back to center. Nice flat back here, and bringing your tummy into your spine. Let's go ahead and extend the right toes back. I'm going to lift them off the mat. And then reach that, first by starting by reaching my left arm forward. Again, maybe finding a mudra here as I start to take that arm back behind me. Perfect. All right, bring it back to center. And then go ahead and bring it back down to the mat. One cat-cow between here. Just drop that belly down, lift the heart. And exhale, start to round through, finding that cat pose. All right, coming back to center. We'll take the left toes back, lifting them off the mat, and taking the right arm forward. Again, finding that mudra, and then taking the arm back behind us. Keeping a lift in the chest, lift in the leg too. We want to keep ourselves lifted high. Good. Go ahead and bring it back to center, and release the hand and the leg down. Take one more cat-cow. Drop that belly down. Lift the heart. And then exhale, round through. All right, go ahead and come back to neutral. Tuck the toes under. Lift up the hips. Find a downward facing dog. Start to walk the feet out. Pedal them out. Find some length in the spine. Finding the heels reaching towards your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Maybe open up the mouth here. Good. Again, deep breath in through the nose. Open up your mouth. One more time. Deep breath in. Inhale up, lifting those heels. Bend your knees and maybe take a little walk or a hop up to the top of your space, maybe stepping over any animals that happen to be in the way. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold it down. Let's root to rise. Bring the body all the way up. Reach up nice and tall, little back bend. Open the chest. And then bring the hands to the heart. And let's go ahead and take a few breaths here. Maybe closing the eyes. This is where we can set that intention for our practice. All right, let's inhale. Bring those arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down, reach for your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. So I'm going to plant my hands here. I'm going to step back my left toe. So starting with a runner's lunge. Let's go ahead and plant that left hand. It could be on the block or it can be on the mat. Lifting up the heart as we reach that right, those right fingers up. Twisting open. Go ahead and bring it down. Let's take some time and create the space between the toes. All right, lift up, crescent lunge. All right, so nice bend in that front knee, maybe a little bend in the back. Take a nice deep breath here, and as we exhale, I'm going to start to plant the heel in the back. And allow those fingertips to float back as well. Inhale again. And exhale. So my front knee is always staying bent here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale. So it's really just the slightest movement. I'm hinging at my hips. Inhale, bring it up. Good. Let me bring the hands to the heart center here. I'm going to step my left foot up to my variation of tree. Sorry, Lotus. And maybe you sway a little bit here, that's okay. Just taking maybe another breath. I'm gonna bring my hands back to my heart. Unless you kept them there, then you're fine. Start to hinge forward, and as I do that, the knee's gonna come back forward. And I'm gonna start by floating my foot back to a warrior three. Nice deep breath. All right, dropping the toes back, crescent lunge. Open up to warrior two. Good, and take a few moments here. I want you to kind of sink in to that front leg. Maybe even kind of take your stance a little wider. And really feel some length here in the body. So you don't want to avoid, if you feel like your knee's caving in, maybe just slightly turn the toes a little bit out to the side. Engage here and rotate open. Just literally push open the hip. All right, flipping the front palm. Let's go ahead, reverse. And then come back to warrior two. So we're gonna do some movement here as well. So flipping both of the palms up, straightening the leg as we reach up. Good, exhale, sink it back in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale again, sink it in. Maybe this is lower than you normally go. Okay, one more time. Inhale, bring it all the way up. This time as our arms just come out to that T, we're going to lengthen forward, finding triangle pose. So hand can be floating. Maybe you have a block here. Maybe you're using your shin. Yeah, just gonna find the length here with your body. Find the space. Good, go ahead and slowly come all the way back up. We're gonna do reverse triangle, so keeping the legs straight for a moment. Good. Let's go ahead and bend into that front leg. Warrior two. And then cartwheel the arms to the top of your mat. Let's step up to our very top, feet are meeting together. We'll slowly rise all the way up. Take a few breaths. And then bring the hands to the heart. All right. So let's kind of work on that on the other side. All right, take a nice breath in. Sweep those arms up. Exhale, fold it down. Good, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. So this time our right toe is gonna go back. Finding that position, we'll plant the right hand, lift the left arm up. Good. Finding that positioning with the toes, so maybe creating some space. We don't want to be on that balance beam necessarily. And then bring your body upright. Finding that crescent lunge. Good, as I start to reach the heel now down towards the earth, I'm going to float the arms back, hinge forward. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale. So maybe just like a straightening of the leg, that's fine too. One more time. Good, reach it up. Bring the hands to the heart. Now I'm going to step up that right toe to my tree pose. And if you need to tap the foot down, you can. Or if you need your hand to guide your foot up. And hopefully if you had coffee, you went to the bathroom. Hopefully this won't get anyone too distracted hearing the water running, a little brook. If not, you can always come back to the video later. Good. If your hands are not at your heart center, go ahead and bring them back. As I start to hinge forward, the knee is going to come in towards the chest, and I'll send it back for that warrior three, hopefully. Good. Drop the foot back. Crescent lunge. Opening the warrior two. So again, finding that stance. So maybe I'm actually going to take my feet apart a little bit more again. Really find some length in the body. Just kind of checking in to see if I'm not heaving in. I'm rotating open. Let's go ahead and flip the front palm, reverse. And then come to that extended, actually do that warrior two. All right, so at our next breath, let's flip the palms, reach the arms up. Good, exhale again, bend in. Good, inhale, reach those arms. Exhale, bend it in. One more time, again, reach those arms up. Bend it in. All right, so this time we'll kind of bring those arms up one more time, and this time the arms will stay, this time the arms will just float out. The legs will remain where they are. We're gonna lengthen forward those left fingertips, and then come down, again, block, chin, foot, toe, mat, any of those options for your practice. And depending on how your neck feels, maybe your gaze just comes to the side. Maybe it follows these fingertips here. Good. Go ahead and slowly bring yourself up. We're going to reach those arms. Do that reverse triangle. Good, adding a bend into the knee, cartwheeling the hands down to the mat. This time we'll step back to a plank. So level yourself out here and find some length in the body. Find those heels reaching for the ground. Let's go ahead and shift it forward. Just a little bit on the tippy toes. I'm going to lower my knees. You can do chaturanga here or knees, chest, chin. So I'm going to lower down this way. Good, inhale. Heart lifts up. And then exhale, lower. So wherever you are, if you're in an up dog or a cobra, just lower back down to the mat. Let's take our fingers, and I'm going to move this block so you can see. I'm going to take my fingers off the mat and tent them. So my elbows are kind of sticking up here. Good. As we take a nice deep breath in, lift up. And then exhale, release. We'll do this a couple times. Again, lifting up. So tops of the feet really pressing in. And then lowering down. One more time. Again, inhale, press it up. And then lower down. Bring the hands back towards the body. This time we're just going to come back to a child's pose. Take the knees wide. Big toes to touch. Again, finding length in the body here. Now, if this is a little much on your shoulders, you can always make a little pillow with your hands. Nice. Take a few breaths. All right, let's go ahead and lift up to downward facing dog. So pressing into the mat with your fingertips. Bringing those heels back down towards the ground. All right, lifting up the heels now. Bending the knees and looking up towards the top of your mat. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Bring the arms up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. This might be a perfect opportunity to come back to that intention if you wish. Good. All right, inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. So planting the hands here, step it back to your plank. And before we move on from here, let's go ahead and shift to the right side of our body. So I'm going to come to the sides of my feet as well, staggering them, lifting up, coming to a side plank. And this could be your variation, or maybe your foot's here, maybe your knee is down. Yeah, just kind of find whatever works for you. Good. Let's come back down to the mat, come back to that plank, and chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift up the cobra or up dog, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Good, let's go ahead, inhale, bring those feet together, lifting up the right leg. Exhale, step it all the way up to the top. Lifting up with our breath, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, take it down. Back to your plank. And we'll do the side plank on now the other side. So coming to the left side of the body, again, your variation, I'm going to do the supported variation again. Good. Come back to your plank. Lower down to the mat. Inhale, heart lifts. And then exhale, down dog. All right, bringing the feet together, inhaling up the left leg. Exhale, stepping it up. Inhale, bring the body upright, crescent lunge. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, take it all the way down to the mat. Step back to your plank. This time we'll just lower down. Go ahead, inhale, heart lifts. And then exhale, child's pose. Good, just take maybe another breath. All right, finding downward facing dog. Let's lift up those heels again. Bend the knees, make your way up to the top of your space. Good, inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's bring the feet together here. Come to chair pose. Sit back down into the heels. Lift the arms up. Let's bring the hands to the heart center. So maybe sink down a little lower here. All right, I'm going to start by taking a twist over to that right side. So connecting that elbow to our leg, our thigh. Go ahead, inhale back to center. Exhale, bring it over to the left. Good, inhale back to center. Exhale, fold in half. Take the feet wider, about hips distance, or a little bit, maybe almost close to the edge of the mat. Allow your head to hang, knees to bend, sway the body, ragdoll. Good. Go ahead, release the hands down. Bring the toes back in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Take it back to your plank. Take a vinyasa here, lower down. Lift the heart. And exhale, down dog. All right, right foot steps forward. This time, plant the back heel. Lift up the heart. Warrior one. And we'll take a few moments just to kind of settle in again to here. Nice little bend to the knee. We want to have the knee above the ankle. Hips, I'm kind of facing the camera a little bit, but I want to turn the hips forward. Now they're not going to be perfectly facing the top of the mat. It just has a lot to do with our body chemistry. Reach those arms up, and this time what we're gonna do is to open up the heart a little bit, bend the elbows. So we're doing this cactus style. I'm just gonna allow yourself to ease back and do a little tiny back bend. Good. Then release the fingertips behind the low back. Lift the heart again. Different kind of coming into a proud warrior. And then exhale, bow it down. All right, release the hands, step it back, and then lower through, again, your vinyasa, whatever it happens to be. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, left leg steps forward, plant that back heel. Inhale, bring yourself up. When you get yourself situated, just take a couple moments here. No rush. And start to open up the chest. Take a few breaths. And as we exhale again, intertwine the fingers one over. Lift up the heart, proud warrior. Exhale, bow it down. Good, go ahead and release. Step on back. Take your vinyasa, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up the heart. And then exhale, take the hips up. Downward facing dog. Take those breaths in and out of the nose, or maybe in the nose, out the mouth. All right, let's go ahead, lift up the heels, bending the knees, making your way up to the top of your mat. Trying not to step on your calves. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. So I'm gonna bring again my toes together and sink back into my heels, chair pose. All right, bringing the hands to the heart. Let's take that prayer twist over to the right. Now here's our difference this time. I'm gonna lift up the heel of my left foot, step it back. Good. Let's bring the body upright. Reaching for that crescent lunge. Opening the arms over to the right side. Nice open arm twist. Reach it back. Holding for a moment. All right, good. Cartwheeling the arms down, standing splits. And this is a good one for blocks as well, if you're kind of still working on it, or if you just want to get a little deeper in. So just having the blocks here to bring the ground a little bit closer, and you can always kind of play around. Maybe one hand is on your leg, one hand is on the block. Dropping the head, create the space in the neck. All right, wherever you are, go ahead and step the feet together at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold down. All right, sink back in the chair pose one more time. Bring the hands to the heart. I'm going to take the prayer twist over to the left. All right, so taking our right heel up, stepping it back. Let's go ahead and bring the body up, crescent lunge. Good, open arm twist now to the left. Sweep that arm back. Reach back for the right leg. Awesome. And then cartwheel the hands down to your blocks, to the mat. Float that right leg up. Good, taking maybe another breath or so here. All right, let's step the feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. So taking your feet as wide as your mat, we're gonna bring the toes off to the edge. Sink down into your hips. Let's go ahead and just find a goddess squat here. Bringing the hands to the heart. Nice. And then we're just going to come to a seat for a second. Now I'm going to do just one back bend. So I'm going to grab both of my blocks and come to my knees. All right. And I'm just going to, actually I probably only need one for the time being. I'm going to do just like a half camel pose. And then eventually we'll do like a full one. So just going to take a second. Well, maybe I'll just place both the blocks there for now. Blocks at your heels if you need it. If you don't really practice it, you obviously don't need a blocks. But just go again, take whatever time you need in their props. And having my legs about hips distance apart, nothing further. Toes pointing back. Good, I'm just gonna start now taking my left arm up, reach it up nice and tall. So as we're doing this, we're already starting to engage, especially our butt, engage our quads. And then I'm gonna take my right arm up. Good, and now the right arm's gonna sweep back and just reach for that block. Good, and then come back up, reaching both those arms. Let's go ahead and take that left arm down to that block. And beautiful. All right, go ahead and bring both the arms up. Let's just take a moment here before I move on to the other one, the full camel with the blocks at least. I'm just going to take a little seat on my heels for a second, let my back just kind of neutralize. Good, and now, again, I'll come back onto the heel, or come back onto my knees, high kneel. Blocks are in order. And again, I'm going to take both my arms up here first. Take the right arm back, so again, cartwheeling it back. And then take that left arm back. So fingertips just reaching for the blocks. Chin is slightly tucked. Perfect. All right, slowly go ahead and so again come back down to the heels. Move the blocks out of the way. Letting that back neutralize. Okay, let's go ahead and come down to the back. So you're probably wondering, like, why didn't you do like child's pose? We're gonna kind of do something a little different. We're actually gonna do more of a twist action versus child's pose for a moment. But first, allowing the feet just again, maybe walk a little wider than your hips now. We'll just drop the knees over to the left. Take the arms out. Because, oh, we're not done yet. This is kind of just to work out that, that back bend a little bit. All right, go ahead and bring your knees back to center, then take them over to the opposite side, to the right. Good, go ahead and bring the legs back to center. All right, walk them back in. We'll get into a little more twisting in a little bit. So what I want you to do is just bring your hands underneath. See how I have them underneath my butt right here? We're going to walk the heels in just a little bit and then lift the legs up into the air. So this is one of those little core things that we're going to work on. And it's always, I always get a lot of comments. It might be like, I hate you, but you know, it's always good to have these kinds of things into our workout, obviously, even a yoga workout. It's not all easy stuff. Okay, so it's called 30, 60, 90. So having let's bring our toes so the big toes are touching, the heels are sticking out here. All right, so we're at our next inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, lower the legs about 30%. Good. Inhale it in. Exhale 30% more. Excellent. And one more breath in. Exhale so they're hovering. And then tap the toes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them all the way up. And if you need to bend the knees here for a second to relax, go ahead. I'm going to move these out of the way. And scoot myself back a little bit. All right, back into shape here. So legs up, heels in, toes out. So again, same thing. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower them down about 30. So the key is here engaging your core and so that your low back stays on the ground. All right, 30 more. And then hover. All right, heels click. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, back up. Bring them in if you need to. Then release. All right, last time. I'm going to point the toes up. Good. All right, and then lower down 30. Lower down 30 more. And hover. Crisscross. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring them up. Hug the mid. Beautiful. Start to rock a little side to side. Let's actually even grab onto the feet here. Let's go into happy baby. This will really, just kind of really pull that tailbone down to the ground. So if you can't reach your toes and you feel like you're like, you know, like this too much, just grab onto your shins. No one's seeing what you're doing, but I prefer that you be like this, at least keeping your back flat on the mat. So, or even like this is fine too. So I just have my legs a little wider. Good. All right, bring the feet back down to the ground. We're gonna cross that right leg over the left. So like a nice little lady crossing of the legs. We're going to take the hips over to the left side, drop the knees over to the right. Again, if they don't come to the ground, that's okay. Keeping the shoulders down is what we want. Go ahead and bring your legs back to center. Release that leg. We're going to cross the left over the right. Take the hips to the right. Drop the knees to the left. Go ahead and bring it back to center. We'll just take a moment here, just maybe letting the legs windshield wiper side to side. One last time. And when you are ready, just go ahead and walk the feet out, allowing them to fall open as they reach the corners of the mat. Let your hands come down to your sides. And just kind of settle into your mat. Maybe come back to that breath that we started at the beginning of the practice and finding, maybe it's the breath awareness through the nostrils. Or maybe it's the breath awareness of the rise and fall of your belly and your body. Or maybe it's the sensation of the breath as it travels all the way down from the crown of the head to the toes. So whatever works for you here. Just bring your body, bring your breath back to that place. Allow the mat and the ground to support you underneath. Settle into Shavasana. Let all the thoughts just empty your mind. begin to release your body from stillness. Starting to move your toes and fingers. Maybe stretching or yawning, just kind of allowing the body to wake up. And then wherever you are, maybe pulling the knees into the chest gently and just rolling over to your favorite side. And then pressing yourself up to your comfortable seat. Your eyes remaining closed or at a soft gaze. Let's go ahead and inhale the hands to the heart center. So thank you so much for sharing your practice, your energy with me this morning. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. Let's bring the thumb knuckles up to your third eye, center of the forehead. The divine light in me honors the divine light in each of you. And together we bow. Namaste. All right, thanks so much for joining today, and Lotus thanks you too. So we'll see you again sometime shortly this week. So have a good day. Thanks. Bye.